You were born with purpose. You were born with potential. Now go live like it. Success doesn't come by accident. It doesn't fall into your lap while you're sitting on the couch wishing for it. It doesn't show up because you want it badly enough. No, success is earned. It's built step by step through planning, preparation, and perseverance. You've always been enough. You just need to start acting like it. Take inventory of your life. What's working? What's draining you? What habits need to go? What habits need to be built? You've got the power to shift. It's not too late. I don't care if you're 18 or 80, if you're breathing, you've still got purpose. And if you've still got purpose, you've still got something worth fighting for. You don't need a massive breakthrough overnight. You just need a small decision today. A decision to start. A decision to believe. A decision to move. Because the life you dream about, it's not a fantasy. It's the next level of your potential waiting for you to claim it. You've got to surround yourself with people who challenge you, who speak life into you, who see the greatness in you even when you don't. Get around people who fan your flame, not those who pour water on your dreams. And you've got to feed your mind with truth. Read, learn, grow. The more you stretch your thinking, the more you stretch your life. Your mind is the gateway to your potential. What you think, you become. What you believe, you act on. And what you act on, you live. So train your mind to expect more. Train it to look for opportunity instead of obstacles. Train it to focus on what's possible instead of what's painful. Your purpose is waiting on the other side of your perspective. Don't waste another year, another month, another week believing that you're not enough. You are enough. You don't have to rely on hype or emotion. You've got a system. You've got a rhythm. You've got a standard. Motivation is loud. Discipline is quiet. But discipline is where the real power lies. So today, ask yourself, what's one area of my life where I need more discipline? What's one thing I need to do, even if I don't feel like it? Then do it. Not because you're in the mood, but because you're on a mission. Don't chase the feeling. Build the habit. Don't wait for inspiration. Create momentum. Don't hope for change. Discipline for change. Because when motivation fades, discipline will be there, holding the line, keeping you moving, pushing you forward. And in that discipline, you won't just reach your goals, you'll become someone stronger, wiser, and more powerful than you ever imagined. You need something stronger, something that holds when your emotions don't. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is your anchor. It's what you fall back on when the excitement fades. It's the habit that kicks in when inspiration is gone. Discipline is the quiet force that says, I'm going to do it anyway. Let's be clear, the people you admire, the high achievers, the champions, the leaders, they're not successful because they were motivated all the time. They're successful because they were disciplined even when they didn't feel like it. You see, discipline is a choice. Motivation is a feeling. And feelings lie. Feelings say sleep in. Discipline says get up. You want to change your life? Change your attitude. Stop talking about how tired you are. Stop rehearsing your failures. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's highlight reel. Speak life over yourself. Say, I'm built for this. Say, I've got what it takes. Say, I'm not backing down. Don't let fear paralyze you. Fear is a liar. It'll tell you that you're not good enough, that it's too late, that no one will care. But let me tell you, the world needs what you've got. Somebody's waiting on your courage. Somebody's waiting on your leadership. Somebody's waiting to see what Ativa Sema said when you decide to believe in yourself. Start today. Take the step. Make the call. Write the plan. Show up to the gym. Launch the idea. Say yes to the opportunity. You're not too old. You're not too young. You're not too broken. You are right on time. You can be smart, but if you're not disciplined, you'll stay stuck. Discipline multiplies your potential. It turns ability into achievement. Let's take a moment and be real. Discipline is hard. It requires saying no to comfort. It means resisting temptation. It means choosing the long-term reward over the short-term pleasure. It means waking up early, sticking to the plan, staying focused when everyone else is distracted. But here's what's harder: regret. Regret of wasted time. Regret of missed opportunities. Regret of knowing you could have been more, done more, lived more, but you didn't follow through. That's why discipline is a form of self-respect. You can't control your feelings, but you can control your choices. You don't have to feel like doing something in order to do it. That's a powerful truth. You can act your way into progress. You can move forward even when your emotions tell you to stop. Here's the key: discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being faithful. It's about consistency over intensity. You don't need to make a giant leap every day. You just need to take a step. You need to do something that moves the needle. Small progress done daily becomes unstoppable momentum. A lot of people are looking for hacks, the secret formula, the shortcut to success. But here's the real hack: do it when you don't feel like it. That's the edge. That's what separates the average from the exceptional. You can be talented, but if you're not disciplined, you'll waste it. You don't need to have all the answers before you start. You just need to stop believing all the lies that say you're not enough. And let's be real, those lies, they're loud. They come from society, from other people, from past mistakes. But the loudest voice is often your own. That inner critic that says you're too late, you failed too much, you're not talented enough, you're not lucky enough. You know what that voice is? That's fear wearing the mask of logic. Too often we quit because we don't see instant results. But discipline isn't about speed, it's about direction. It's about making sure your feet are moving toward the future you want. If you commit to the process, the results will follow. And when you build momentum, something shifts inside you. You begin to believe in yourself more. You begin to realize that you're capable of far more than you ever imagined. Discipline doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean you'll never fail. It means you don't give up when you do. It means you keep showing up even if yesterday wasn't perfect. Let me make this practical. We all love motivation. It's that fire in your belly. That voice that tells you you got this. Motivation gets you excited. It gets you out of bed with a purpose. It makes you believe that anything is possible. And make no mistake, it's a beautiful thing. But here's the truth: motivation doesn't last. It comes and goes like the wind. Some days you feel like you can conquer the world. Other days you don't even feel like getting dressed. You don't feel like going to the gym. You don't feel like working on your goals. You don't feel like showing up. That's human. That's normal. You're not weak because you don't feel motivated every day. You're real. That's why if you build your life around motivation, you're building on sand. The foundation is too shaky. We think it's about passion, breakthroughs, or bursts of inspiration, but that's not how greatness works. Greatness is forged in the fires of routine. It's found in the decision to show up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. You see, motivation may get you started, but it's discipline that keeps you going. Motivation is a spark. It comes and goes. Discipline, that's the engine. That's what keeps moving even when the road gets rough. And it will. There are days when you won't want to get out of bed. Days when the goal seems far away. Days when the doubt creeps in. But discipline doesn't care about how you feel, it cares about who you want to become. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's waking up early to work on your dream when others are sleeping. It's saying no to distractions, even when they're tempting. It's making the tough choice because you know it's the right choice. Think about the most successful people in any field: athletes, entrepreneurs, authors, leaders. What they all have in common isn't just drive, it's consistency. It's discipline. It's the ability to repeat the right habits day in and day out. They didn't build empires in one day. They built momentum brick by brick, one disciplined action at a time. There's a truth so powerful, it can change your entire life the moment you believe it. Your mindset defines your limits. Not your background, not your past, not your circumstances, not your age, your education, or your bank account. The most important factor in your success is what's happening between your ears. Your mindset is your internal lens. It colors the way you view the world, your challenges, your opportunities, and most importantly, yourself. You can have all the potential in the world, but if your mindset is negative, fearful, or self-defeating, that potential gets buried under doubt and hesitation. On the other hand, with the right mindset, you can rise from the lowest valley to the highest mountain. You've probably heard the phrase, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. They know what they're doing and why they're doing it. It doesn't mean everything always goes perfectly. In fact, it rarely does. But a plan gives them clarity, and clarity builds confidence. A vague goal like "I want to be successful" won't get you anywhere. But when you sit down and say, "I want to see if I'm professional speaker in 2 years, and here's the roadmap I'll follow," you turn draining out for break it down. What are the skills you need? Who can you learn from? What do you need to practice every day? Without a plan, you're reactive. You wait for life to happen to you. But with a plan, you're proactive. You make life happen. You become the kind of person who doesn't just talk about goals, you move toward them. Now, once you have a plan, it's time for preparation. The growth mindset isn't about being naive or blindly optimistic. It's about believing that you are not defined by your current situation. You are defined by your willingness to grow, stretch, and keep going. Here's the secret. Every time you stretch your mind, your world expands. Every time you challenge your limits, your capacity grows. Every time you tell yourself, I will figure this out, you gain strength even before the solution appears. Success is not born in comfort zones. It's born in the mind first. That's where the fight begins. That's where the battle is won or lost. You must first believe it's possible before it ever becomes actual. The people you spend time with. Are they expanding your vision or shrinking it? Are they pushing you forward or holding you back? Protect your mental diet like your future depends on it, because it does. Fourth, visualize success. Your mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. When you vividly see yourself succeeding, your mind begins to believe it. And what the mind believes, the body starts to follow. Champions rehearse their victories before they happen. Fifth, take action. You don't build a strong mindset just by thinking about it. You build it by doing, by showing up, by proving to yourself day by day that you're capable of more. Confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you earn through action. Here's a practical tip. Every time you feel doubt, don't retreat. Lean in. That's your chance to grow. The problem is, most people don't live like they were born with purpose. They live like life is happening to them, not for them. They accept average. They settle into routines that steal their passion. They give in to doubt and surround themselves with people who don't call out the greatness inside of them. But just because you've lived like that until now doesn't mean you have to keep living that way. Purpose isn't something you find by luck. It's something you uncover through awareness, courage, and action. And potential? Potential is only powerful when it's activated. You can have all the ability in the world, but if you never use it, it goes to waste. The tragedy isn't that people lack potential. The tragedy is that people live their entire lives and never tap into what they already have inside of them. Take a moment and imagine this. If nothing held you back, no fear, no insecurity, no past mistakes, what would you do? Who would you become? What kind of life would you build? That image you just saw in your mind, that's your potential speaking. It's calling you. And if you're willing to listen, it'll lead you to your purpose. Every single person is born with the seeds of greatness, but seeds don't grow unless they're planted, watered, and nurtured. It's not enough to have potential. You've got to honor it. That means showing up with effort even when you don't feel like it. That means choosing growth over comfort. That means believing in yourself even when nobody else claps for you. That might sound strange. How can structure give you freedom? Because when you master discipline, you master your time, your habits, and your focus. You're no longer a slave to impulses. You become the driver of your life, not a passenger. But let's be honest, it's not easy. It takes effort. It takes self-control. It takes saying no when it would be easier to say yes. That's not just a clever line, it's a universal principle. What you believe about yourself becomes a prophecy you fulfill. Let's break this down. There are two types of mindsets that shape lives: a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset believes that abilities are set in stone. You're either born talented or not, smart or not, capable or not. People with a fixed mindset avoid challenges, fear failure, and give up easily when things get tough. Why? Because their mindset tells them if you fail, it means you're not good enough. So they stop trying altogether. Now contrast that with a growth mindset. A growth mindset believes that abilities can be developed, skills can be learned, intelligence can grow, strength can be built. People with a growth mindset embrace challenges. They see effort as the path to mastery. They welcome failure as a teacher. They don't ask, can I do this? They ask, how can I learn to do this? Which mindset do you think leads to success? Start where you are. Use what you have. And commit to these three things. Plan with clarity. Prepare with discipline. Persevere with heart. You may not see results tomorrow. You may not get applause next week, but keep going. Keep building. Keep believing. Because if you do, there will come a day when people ask you, how did you do it? And your answer will be simple: I planned, I prepared, And I didn't give up. Start with clarity. What do you want to achieve? What habits will get you there? Define your path clearly so you can walk it with purpose. Create systems. Don't rely on willpower. Build routines that make discipline automatic. Set up your environment to support your goals. Plan your days. Schedule your priorities. Track your progress. Momentum builds when you see results. Write it down. Celebrate the wins. Let every step forward fuel the next. Remove distractions. Discipline is easier when temptation is out of reach. Turn off the noise. Focus on what matters. Surround yourself with growth. Be around people who value discipline, who push you higher, who won't let you quit on yourself. Success is motivating, and nothing motivates like seeing results. Fifth, forgive yourself when you mess up, but get back on track fast. One bad day doesn't erase your progress. Don't let a stumble turn into a slide. Discipline isn't about never failing, it's about never quitting. And remember this, discipline is contagious. When you get disciplined in one area, it starts to spill into others. You wake up early and suddenly you're eating better. You start working out and suddenly you're more productive. You focus on your goals and you focus on managing your time better. Why? Because discipline sharpens your mind. It builds momentum. It creates structure. And structure creates freedom. That's the paradox. Discipline doesn't limit your life. It unlocks it. It gives you control. It gives you strength. It gives you peace. You don't have to wonder where your time is going. You don't have to second guess your choices. Remember this, you don't have to be the best, you just have to be consistent. You may not be the most talented, the most experienced, or the most confident. But if you show up with discipline, you will pass the people who quit when things got tough. There are people out there with more resources than you, more advantages, but they won't go as far because they lack the discipline to stay the course. You've got a choice. Every day you decide whether you will stay in your comfort zone or whether you'll step into the discomfort that leads to greatness. See, life is not about where you start, it's about how you finish. And finishing strong starts with believing that you're supposed to win. Winners don't walk around with their heads down. They walk with their shoulders back, not because they've never lost, but because they refuse to stay down. You've got gifts inside of you that haven't even been tapped into yet. There are ideas, books, businesses, relationships, breakthroughs locked up inside of you waiting for you to believe in them. But it's not enough to want it. Wanting is cheap. Everybody wants to win. But very few are willing to wake up early, stay up late, and push through the pain. Winning costs something. It costs time. It costs discipline. It costs sacrifice. But oh, the reward. There's nothing like waking up every day knowing you gave it your all, knowing you didn't quit, knowing you honored your purpose. That feeling, that's the prize money can't buy. So walk out of here with your head high, your heart full, and your faith unshakable. You don't need to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. Run your race. Fight your fight, build your dream. You were born to win, and it's time you start living like it. That isn't just a nice sounding phrase. It's a powerful truth that has the ability to reshape how you see yourself and how you move through life. You are not here by accident. You are not the result of random chance. You are here because there's something in this world that only you can do. There is a reason for your existence, a unique purpose that was woven into your DNA before you took your first breath. You didn't come into this world empty. You came equipped. Packed inside of you are gifts, talents, dreams, and the ability to grow, evolve, and rise above any challenge you face. You may not see it yet. You may not feel it every day. But deep inside, there's a voice that whispers, "There's more in you." Now we live in a world that celebrates the finish line more than the race. We clap for people at the top of the mountain, but we rarely talk about what it took to climb it. We see the spotlight, but we don't see the sweat. We admire the results, but we forget about the resilience it took to get there. Success isn't magic. It's not mystery. It's not luck. It's discipline. It's grit. Let's start with planning. Planning is where success is born. Or I've made too many mistakes. Or maybe no one ever believed in me. But listen to me closely. You are not your past. You are not your circumstances. You are not your setbacks. You are possibility wrapped in skin. You are a walking, talking bundle of untapped potential. Let me tell you a story. A young man grew up in a house that didn't have much. No silver spoon. No connections. Just a dream and a whole lot of grit. People told him he wasn't smart enough, not strong enough, not talented enough, but that young man didn't listen. He didn't buy the lies. He decided to believe in the whisper that said, "You were born for more." And every day he got up, he worked hard, he stayed honest, and he treated people right. Today, that man is living his dream, not because it was handed to him, but because he refused to quit. Perseverance is showing up when you feel like quitting. It's trying again after failure. It's trusting the process even when the results are delayed. It's refusing to give up, not because it's easy, but because you believe in what you're building. Ask any successful person and they'll tell you there were moments they wanted to quit. Times when nothing seemed to be working. Seasons of doubt, rejection, loneliness. But they kept going. Not because it was convenient, but because they had committed to the process. Perseverance doesn't mean you never fall. It's saying, I am worth the effort. It's saying my goals matter enough to work for. When you keep promises to yourself, you build trust with yourself. You build character. You build confidence. And here's the beautiful twist. When you live with discipline long enough, it starts to feel natural. What used to be hard becomes your new normal. It becomes your identity. You don't just have discipline, you are disciplined. And that's powerful. You start to operate with a different mindset. You stop chasing comfort and start chasing growth. You stop needing outside validation and start living with internal conviction. You stop quitting when it's hard and start pushing when it's hard. Let's talk practical. How do you build discipline? Let me tell you something. The fact that you're here today, listening to this message, searching for meaning, hungry for growth, that's proof your purpose is alive. That hunger in your heart is the fire of your potential trying to break through the surface of your life. Your background doesn't cancel your purpose. Your failures don't disqualify your potential. In fact, those very struggles, the pain, the loss, the rejection can become the fuel that drives you if you let them. Some of the greatest leaders, thinkers, and world changers started with nothing but a deep belief that they were here for something more. They didn't wait to feel ready. They didn't wait for approval. They simply decided to live like their life mattered, and it did. So let me ask you, are you living like your life matters? Let's break this down. Discipline builds momentum, and momentum is power. When you do something consistently, even if it's small, you build progress. That progress creates confidence. And confidence gives you energy to keep going. It becomes a cycle: discipline, momentum, confidence, more discipline. Momentum is what turns someday into today. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers. And here's the truth: it doesn't take massive steps to build momentum. It just takes small, deliberate steps done consistently. Want to get in shape? It's not about running a marathon on day one. It means you always get back up. It means you push through the pain. It means you face the setbacks, the criticism, the delays, and you keep walking forward anyway. That's the heart of a champion. It's easy to believe in your dream when it's all working. But the real test is believing in it when it's not. Can you still trust your plan when the doors aren't opening yet? Can you still stick to your preparation when the results are slow? Can you persevere when no one's watching, no one's one say, and it feels like nothing's changing? That's where winners are made, in the dark, in the silence, in the grind. It's about showing up for 30 minutes a day, every day. Want to build a business? It's not about launching a perfect product overnight. It's about learning, testing, showing up daily, and doing the hard things, especially when they're not fun. Want to change your life? Start with your habits. Start with your discipline. Discipline says, I will show up no matter what. Discipline says, I won't let my feelings decide my future. Discipline says, if I fall, I'll get back up and I'll keep moving. Some people wait for the right time. But the truth is, there is no right time. There's only now. There's only the decision you make today to build a better tomorrow. Discipline is the ultimate freedom. It's not going to be easy. You'll get tired. You'll have bad days. You'll face rejection. But you'll also discover something incredible. You're stronger than you think. You've got a fire in you that can't be put out. You've got a story that isn't over. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect timing. All you need is the decision to stop living beneath your potential. Today is the day you stop surviving and start thriving. Today is the day you draw the line and say no more excuses, because you were not made to be mediocre. You were made to soar. You were made to lead. You were made to win. First, become aware of your self-talk. Pay attention to the story you're telling yourself every day. Is it a story of power or a story of defeat? Are you narrating a life of growth or a life of fear? Awareness is the first step to change. Second, challenge your limitations. Just because you've never done something doesn't mean you can't. Every master was once a beginner. Every champion started with nothing but desire and discipline. Stop saying, I'm not good at this, and start saying, I'm learning. Third, feed your mind with the right fuel. What you consume mentally matters. The books you read, the podcasts you listen to. First, start small. Don't try to overhaul your whole life in a week. Pick one thing, one habit, one change. Maybe it's waking up earlier. Maybe it's reading 10 pages a day. Maybe it's working on your business for 30 minutes. Whatever it is, commit to it. Lock it in. Second, schedule it. Don't leave discipline to chance. Put it on your calendar. Make it a priority, not an afterthought. Treat it like an appointment you can't miss. Third, remove distractions. Discipline isn't just about willpower, it's about environment. Set yourself up to win. If your phone distracts you, put it in another room. If junk food tempts you, don't buy it. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Fourth, track your progress. Keep a journal. Mark an X on the calendar. Watch the streak grow. If you don't know where you're going, how will you ever get there? You can't hit a target you can't see. A plan gives you direction. It gives your energy a focus. Without a plan, your ambition is just noise. But with a plan, your ambition becomes action. Successful people don't just hope things work out, they plan for them to work out. They wake up with a strategy. Every day you choose progress over perfection, you chip away at the barriers that have kept your potential locked away. And slowly, your life begins to shift. Here's the beautiful part. When you start to walk in your purpose, you not only change your life, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage becomes contagious. Your discipline becomes a model. Your story becomes someone else's roadmap. That's the ripple effect of a life lived with purpose. That's the impact of someone who chooses to believe in their potential. But none of this happens automatically. You've got to be intentional. Everyone wants to win, but not everyone's willing to train. You want to be ready when opportunity knocks. Then you better be preparing while it's still quiet. Too many people wait for things to happen before they prepare. But real winners prepare before the opportunity. They stay ready so they don't have to get ready. Think about an Olympic athlete. Do they start training a week before the games? No, they prepare for years, quietly, faithfully, relentlessly. Because when their moment comes, they want to be at their best. Let me make this plain. If you don't respect the process, you don't deserve the reward. Success demands a foundation, and preparation is that foundation. Feelings say take a break. Discipline says push through. Feelings are loud, but discipline is consistent. Think about a professional athlete. You think they feel like training every single day? No. But they train anyway. You think they're always excited to eat clean, to work out, to study film? No. But they do it anyway. Why? Because they've made a decision. And that decision isn't up for negotiation. That's what discipline is, a non-negotiable commitment to your goals. It's the agreement you make with yourself that you'll keep showing up, whether you feel like it or not. It's not glamorous, it's not always fun, but it works. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is structural. Choose wisely, because your mindset is either the ceiling on your life or the floor you rise from. The good news, you're the one who gets to decide. There's a secret that separates the successful from the stuck, the fulfilled from the frustrated, and the unstoppable from the ordinary. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not even motivation. It's daily discipline. Discipline is what you do when no one is watching. Discipline is the quiet force that pushes you to keep going long after the excitement is gone. It's the foundation of every extraordinary life. And the best part, it's not something you're born with, it's something you build. We often romanticize success. Daily discipline is the difference between regret and reward, between a life of wondering what if, and a life that shouts, I did it. So decide today, will you let your feelings control you, or will you be the one in control? Because the person who wins in life isn't the one who starts the fastest. It's the one who refuses to stop. Keep showing up. Keep doing the work. Keep building momentum, because once you do, you'll be unstoppable. Don't let fear write your story. Don't let your past define your ceiling. You get to choose the thoughts you entertain. You get to shape the perspective you carry. You don't have to be the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. You just have to believe that you can grow. You have to believe that you are not stuck, that you are not broken, that you are not too late. Because you're not. You are one decision away from a better mindset, and a better mindset will take you to a better life. So let me ask you, what kind of mindset are you waking up with every morning? Are you setting limits with your thoughts? Or are you breaking boundaries with your belief? But every time you make the disciplined choice, you strengthen your willpower. You train your brain to follow through. You gain trust in yourself. And that's powerful. Because if you can trust yourself to do the hard things when no one is watching, you become unstoppable. Here's the beautiful thing about discipline: the results compound. What seems small today adds up to something massive tomorrow. One day of reading becomes a habit of lifelong learning. One workout becomes a lifestyle of fitness. One day of saving money becomes financial freedom. One act of courage becomes a legacy. It starts small, but it ends big. But here's the hard truth: plans will fail. Preparation will be tested. Life will throw curveballs. That's why the final ingredient is the most important: perseverance. Perseverance is what holds everything together when things don't go as planned. It's what kicks in when motivation runs out. Because make no mistake, motivation is fickle. It's easy to be excited in the beginning. But what happens when it gets tough? What happens when progress is slow? What happens when no one sees your effort? That's when perseverance takes the wheel. But you're not here to play small. You weren't born to settle. You weren't created to live under the weight of limiting beliefs. You were born with a mind that can choose differently. And that choice over and over again redefines your life. If your mindset is filled with doubt, your actions will be hesitant. If your mindset is filled with excuses, your results will be limited. But if your mindset is filled with belief, courage, and purpose, there's no telling what you can achieve. Here's a truth most people miss: your thoughts shape your behaviors. Your behaviors shape your habits. Your habits shape your results. And your results shape your life. But it all begins with your thoughts. That's why mindset is everything. So what can you do to build a stronger, more empowering mindset? And here's what happens when you commit to all three: planning, preparation, and perseverance. You start to change. Not just your results, but your identity. You become stronger, sharper, wiser. You develop character. You build confidence that's not based on hype, but on discipline. And slowly, success starts to show up, not just in the big milestones, but in the small victories: a better mindset, a stronger work ethic, a deeper sense of purpose. Success is not a single moment. It's 1,000 choices made well. It's a habit, a rhythm, a way of life. It's waking up and saying, I'm committed to the process no matter how long it takes. And don't let the timeline scare you. The people who are winning today, they started years ago. They stuck with it. They outlasted the excuses. They didn't always feel ready, but they showed up anyway. And that's what you can do starting today. Are you using your voice, your mind, your energy to create something meaningful? Or are you just going through the motions, trapped in routines that don't reflect the power you carry inside? There's a difference between existing and living. Existing is easy. You wake up, you go to work, you pay the bills, you repeat. But really living takes intention, it takes vision, it takes the kind of courage that says, I may not have all the answers, but I'm going to show up anyway. And when you choose to live on purpose, with purpose, everything changes. You don't need to be the smartest person in the room, because a plan on paper is useless unless you're willing to prepare in real life. Preparation is the grind nobody sees. It's the early mornings, the late nights, the quiet study, the countless reps. It's doing the work when nobody's clapping. It's practicing the speech alone in your room. It's rewriting your ideas until they're crystal clear. It's investing time, energy, and focus into mastering your craft. Preparation is what separates amateurs from professionals. Everyone wants the stage, but not everyone's willing to rehearse.